back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bax and it's absolutely fabulous meeting you. Today I'm with my bros for BroTober and they're gonna introduce themselves to you.
I feel so stiff right now.
I don't know how to react.
Was it scary?
A little bit.
I'm a bro?
Nice. No.
No,
that was good.
Let's keep going.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
So we've had a fabulous month of BroTober with all of my fabulous bros. You can catch their individual episodes on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Or even better, if you're fancy, you can do the YouTube memberships because that's what fancy girls do. Otherwise, this is the moment we've all been waiting for, asking boys questions that girls are afraid to ask. We're gonna do a couple of never have I ever questions just to get
Oh my
you guys know.
That wasn't in the description.
Hey, I didn't agree to this.
Okay, it's gonna be fun. I'm making it up on the spot, so I'm sure it won't be bad.
Okay, yes.
Never have I ever had a crush on my friend's sister.
Damn.
You have?
Okay, let me
100%.
Now you have to confess. Also you?
Yeah.
Oh no, you.
Bro, I need to put up
We're
two
gonna have to
hands.
confess now. Okay, I'm keeping it confidential though, but I'm going to raise my hand.
But confidential.
100% I have.
With a man of God.
The man of God himself has not done it.
I have not.
Oh, yeah.
Why have you not?
not.
Yes, so you're saying that your friends' sisters are...
Careful now. Backtrack.
I'm joking, I'm kidding.
Backtrack.
I'm
He
joking,
doesn't get
okay.
cancelled.
Never have I ever broken up with someone over text.
Text.
Yeah.
Nah.
You give me those lines.
Phone call, yeah.
I can feel it in my spirit.
Phone call, but yo.
Nothing?
I even felt bad about phone call. It's like, imagine you go like, hey, come meet me at this place. And they go all the way there just so you can break up with them.
And then
I thought about that one. So I have done it, shame, I wouldn't lie.
You've done
no,
it.
listen, hear me out.
Okay,
Okay.
sure.
It was
Of course you done it.
I was far away and I was on family vacation, right? And this person kept on pestering me and I kept saying to him like, we'll chat when I get home, But he wasn't having it. He's like, I want to chat right now.
So a phone
I
call
was like,
wasn't possible?
Actually.
Is he okay?
Because I did a similar thing, but I had to do it over phone.
He's fine.
He's fine.
He
He survived. He survived. Okay.
His mom and I are still cool.
Oh,
So like,
okay.
I don't think there's.
I
any,
thought you were gonna be
bad-
like, he's fine now, he's with God. I was like, yo.
No.
God.
God.
Praying for him.
Give him a phone call, okay?
Yes.
Give
Been
him a phone
hardened.
call.
Give them a phone call,
And
guys.
why are you
Don't-
still chatting to his mom, bro?
Yeah.
Doesn't that make it harder for
Do you know
him?
what? Hey guys, do you guys' moms talk to your
That's just a
girlfriends?
mess.
100%. Yes.
However, you need to sever that relationship. You need to sever it.
Nah, I'm having an intervention. with my mom.
Seriously.
I'm not doing that.
You think so?
Yeah, bro.
I don't think so.
Wow.
Unless
Dude,
there's
my
like,
mom does it.
long-term intention.
But shame, it's because she's loving and caring on them, and a lot of them need it. So.
I think so. I think because the relationship
Yeah.
was so intense.
But it's not even
It's
awkward.
like a second mom too.
Yes, exactly.
like,
So it's like she just moms on them, you know.
But like, at what point did you like meet the rent type of thing? Like, was it a year in the relationship, or was it like
Maybe like a couple of
Yeah.
months.
a couple of months? That's mad.
Yeah, but also like I've never
Yeah.
dated with the intention of breaking up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
that's
That's-
So it was all
Talking about dating.
Yeah, why are we making focus on you guys, okay?
Okay,
Focus on you
yes.
guys. So I'm gonna
Focusing.
ask you a couple of questions before we get into batting season. So they are actually the ones that chose the batting season topic. I don't know what
Yeah.
batting season is.
Well,
No,
I need to rephrase this. We did not choose this.
Oh, you didn't.
We don't choose batting season.
Batting season
chooses
chose
you.
us. There we go.
Let's go! Yeah, let's go!
It chose us.
No, all jokes aside, we didn't choose batting season. God did. Okay, continue.
Yeah,
That
you
escalated.
putting God in your mess. You guys, you actually didn't introduce yourselves.
Oh yes.
Yes, we can start here and then we'll go this way.
Hi everybody. I am Cameron. Must I talk about my job and stuff?
No, you can just give us 2 fun facts about yourself.
2 fun facts.
Okay, fine, your age and okay, whatever you want to say.
Okay.
Sell yourself. 10 seconds. just go.
Okay, hi, my name is Cameron. I love hoodies. I'm friends with Barbara.
Yes.
Thank you for this opportunity. Hi.
Dude, well done. I like that.
Shout out, my name is Jordan. I do music and yeah, I love people.
And Zazas.
and the Zazazel.
Awesome. I'm just gonna copy my Instagram bio. I'm Santana. I love Jesus more than I love pizza and surfing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You serve Santana.
When I
You
can-
have
Can't
long
beat that
hair.
now.
Well, I mean,
Can't
I
beat
know.
that.
Okay, yeah, you
That's
do
how
know
I
that.
make it.
Can't beat that.
Wait, okay, where do I start? Okay,
Man of
my name is Kuda.
Man of God.
Man of God. You guys are that man of God.
Stop it,
Too
you're
much
doing it
right
dirty.
Okay, so yeah, my name is Kuda. I was born in Zimbabwe, and I love woolies.
I love it, bro. I love it. There we go.
Okay, question number one from. Okay, I'm gonna keep the names silent.
I can read them over your shoulder, but
Okay. She says, "Are you guys taken?"
Oh wow, you haven't even seen it.
Yes,
You haven't even looked at us.
yes. Taken.
What's her name?
Taken by batting season for the moment.
Santana.
Yeah, okay, so let's get to it. Jen?
Okay, wait,
take it.
disclaimer. Disclaimer.
I'll be surprised if someone
I need
says
to put
yes.
this disclaimer out. It's August right now.
How?
Yes.
I could be
This is
taken
gonna-
by
this is
October.
gonna be-
Oh.
Maybe
Yeah,
I should
October.
prophesy.
So we
I should prophesy.
So we're just gonna break the fourth wall like
right
that.
into it.
That's what I was saying.
So there's no more fourth
Guys,
wall
that's what I
then.
said.
Somebody's daughter's gonna see this thing and cry like, "Oh, you denied me on a public platform."
you
Oh
are-
my God, oh my God.
That's mad.
Yeah.
You see.
No, the question is, are you taken?
Ooh.
Let's go.
But to
Give
my
us exactly.
God.
Let us know in the comment section.
Okay, why do you expect other stuff when you tell them, "Hey, I don't
Wait,
know"?
wait, answer that question.
Whoa.
Oh, you didn't answer.
No.
Oh, okay.
Answer.
Let's just go. Quick.
I
I am
thought you
not
guys-
taken.
He's
Yeah,
not taken?
I'm not
Cool.
taken.
I plead the fifth.
I think about Jordan.
Nah, I'm not single. Don't worry about
Yeah, I'm single.
it.
Very
I'm
single.
single. I'm so single.
I'm single, but I'm not available.
I love that.
We'll get into that later.
Yes.
We'll get into that later.
Stay tuned.
So this question says, how do boys feel when girls shoot their shot at them?
Oh, that's a
Scared.
good one.
First, like initial
That's a good
emotion
one.
is usually
From
fear.
left to right.
Oh, that's a really good one.
Yeah, because I'm like, this is not the world I grew up in.
Oh yeah.
I grew up in the world where it was like, okay, yes, that makes me sound old, but whatever. The way I grew up was like, guys make the first move because it's the gentlemanly thing to do.
Right,
You know,
right.
it's laying that foundation of chivalry and stuff like that. So first, like right out of the bat, depending on what kind of shot it is, it's fear,
Yeah.
bro. Usually it's fear.
Yeah. I think for me it depends like what does that look like? You know,
Yeah.
so is it like
Word.
is her taking her first shot like, you know, coming and talking to me? Or is it like, hey, can I get your number? Like what does that look like, you know? And depending on what that looks like, then that determines how I feel about it. But to be honest
100%.
with you, like to give a blanket answer, I don't have a problem with it. Like
Okay, wait,
they
what
want to, they want
about
to.
you?
Although I think they would prefer if a guy would shoot their shot, sure. But if they end up doing it, then
Yeah, because I was going to
It is
ask
what it is.
if it actually does happen, how would you guys feel about it?
Because, I mean, like a girl talking to you, walking up and talking to you, for me, that doesn't count like shooting a shot. That's just making friends.
Yeah, that's true.
Shooting a shot is like, hey, do you want to go for
Coffee.
a date?
Yeah,
Always
yeah.
coffee.
Man,
Always
goodness
coffee.
me. Let
Yeah.
me make that decision, please.
So I definitely agree with you guys. I grew up in a way that the guy should always make the first move.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, if it did happen, I'm not going to be like, oh no, because this is backwards, I have to say no to
100%,
you.
yeah.
Like,
Like, Robert,
Yeah, I
Fear-
know, I've
fear
heard that
doesn't
from a
mean-
lot of girls. I've heard that from a lot of girls.
Fear is
I'd
just
rather die
an
with
emotion.
cats.
Yeah, again, like I wouldn't have much of a problem with it, just given the nature of the whole situation. You know,
Right.
because obviously,
Yeah.
you know, I'd analyze. Okay, so where is this coming? Does she have a genuine, sort of
Yeah.
Yeah.
interest in
Yeah.
what might come out
Yeah,
of
yeah.
this?
Yeah.
And then I actually don't have a problem with it. But again, touching on Santana's thing, I think it's great for a guy
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
to pursue. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. You know what I mean? Like,
So a follow-up question into that, someone says, why do guys pursue a girl even though they're not sure about how they feel about them?
Sure. We can just dive into batting season right now.
Wait,
Into that,
wait.
straight up.
The question is,
Why do guys pursue a girl?
even though they're not sure about how they feel?
Yeah.
How
Because that
often
happens a
does that happen?
lot.
Can I answer? Like, if you guys are cool with that?
Yeah, go for it.
I think it stems from a place of insecurity and enjoying the attention.
Yay.
I think if a guy
Speak
doesn't
on it.
realize first and foremost that he's
Yeah.
loved by God, who loves perfectly, who loves fully, who
Yeah.
fulfills all of those gaps that you may feel, if you don't have a true understanding of that, then I mean, where else do you get it? From girls, from
And, yeah.
other sources. And I'm speaking from my own experience now. I'm not putting this on anyone else. Like that's why I did it.
That's good.
Exactly. And a way to just to sort of like simplify what he said as well. Yes, obviously understanding you're loved by God and stuff like that, but also from like a human being like perspective, bro. Like all of that love and validation, like you're meant to get it from home, you know. And the moment you don't get it there, you're outside looking for it, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
And, you know what I mean? So I guess that's
Yeah.
also
Family life. Family life
Do you know what I
definitely
mean?
impacts it.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
understand.
I would ask like the question like, what does he want? Because every guy, when they pursuing a girl, he wants something.
Something.
Whether it's marriage, whether it's relationship, whether it's sex.
Something.
What do you want? And
Exactly.
I would ask, the question back to say, what does that guy
Exactly.
actually want from you? If
Exactly.
he's not sure about you, even if he's not sure about you, there's definitely something.
He wants.
And you need to interrogate that.
That is
For
so
sure.
scary.
Like even the reason I was saying like wow is because I even reflect with me. Sometimes when I pursue a girl, am I really pursuing her or just the fact that I'm gonna get attention? You know what I mean? The fact now I'm gonna feel loved. The idea of it, because I think there's like a pressure like in society that okay, once you're in a relationship, that means something. Now you're whole. Now your identity as well. Lots of people put their identity in a relationship. And I think it's that thing of like sometimes I feel that void and I'm like, okay, no, I need to just get into a relationship so I can feel good about myself. And now I don't even really like the girl, but now because of the pressure, because now I see that getting into a relationship is going to make me feel better about myself, I just go for it. And now I'm getting that attention, now I feel loved. And
Now
now
you're finishing her in the process.
Now you-
yeah, no, and then the
Yeah.
problem is that if I put my identity in her, what happens when it ends?
There we go.
Then my identity is just, and it's happened to me before, where like now I don't know what to do with myself. Now I feel broken, I feel not good enough, and it's like,
100%.
what do I do with that? That's why we need to put our identity into something that's more consistent, more sustainable.
But also just to
Which is
deconstruct
God.
that question.
Yeah.
Which is God. Just to deconstruct that question a little bit as well, because when we hear why does a guy pursue? Okay, what does pursue look like to you? Like, is he blowing up your
asking
phone?
me?
No. I mean, just from a hypothetical,
Yeah.
Does this mean blowing up your phone? Like always texting you? Like, because if you say he's pursuing me, but he's not sure about how he feels, is that something that was openly communicated, or is that like, do you know what I mean?
You see, but my thing is, I don't think guys openly communicate though.
Well, you made a good point there. Like when it comes down to things like that, maybe that's what might
So
spark
okay,
that
so
question.
then my question then would be follow up is, how do I then confront someone who is breadcrumbing me? Because I think for me, I've experienced
Sure,
like
how?
an array of guys who will like just text me every now and then when he
throw the
sees me,
bread.
he no longer he's losing me. He starts to
throw the bread.
breadcrumbs, just to keep
And
me
you are eating.
looping. You understand what I'm saying? And one thing about the bird, she will eat the breadcrumbs.
I feel you.
You understand
And
what I'm
there's like
saying?
a miscommunication.
Yes, but like you don't want to like completely shut them off because you don't know like what if it's serious. You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah.
can I ask you this?
Santana, I don't like your
Santana's
question.
coming. He's coming.
Okay, if you are meant to be with that person, do you think that there's anything in your power you could do to shut it off?
Speak on it, king.
Because something that I think I was afraid of for a long time was, oh my gosh, if I don't make an effort, if I don't take the first step, if
I like
I don't
that.
like date and get to know girls and flirt and stuff, I might die alone. And then I was chatting to, no, but for real.
No, I get it. I actually
Yeah,
get it.
and then I was
I
chatting
get
to a mate of mine at the church, Chris. He's married now, and he was
And
saying,
his wife is fine.
yo,
Sorry.
Reiki, Chris, shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys.
There's
No,
the
shout out
Instagram
to
handle
Ricky and
right
Chris.
here.
Yeah, but they were saying, well, Chris was saying to me, he was saying, dude, if you think that your future wife isn't gonna make it to you because you didn't flirt enough to find them, you must have a really weak idea of God.
Exactly.
No.
And
I
that's
was
a really
like,
jacked up understanding.
Oh,
Like,
damn, that's true. And it makes sense because it's like, if I close every single door, I believe God can still make a way to
That is
to place
smart.
that
You don't
woman
have to flirt
in your life.
your way into every relationship.
No, but also flirt, guys. Yo.
No,
I
okay.
actually agree with Santana. Because now you're just flirting for the sake of flirting because
Yeah.
you don't want to die alone.
Yeah.
Because you can't be by yourself.
And quick question, is marriage the only reason we're made to be alive? Like, what if you never got married? Would
That's
you be okay with
good.
that?
I wouldn't be okay with it, but that's good.
If you want kids.
I think, yeah. So that's definitely a hard question to answer.
Yeah.
But I found a lot of growth from getting to a place where I could answer that question. Like,
Yeah.
it'd actually be cool if I never got married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's giving.
Oh.
I'd
That's-
like to get married, but I'd
that's
be cool
giving,
because I'd do
like
God's work.
self, you're sure of yourself, and you've grown and matured as a person.
Yes.
So my thing is jumping off of what Santana said about your only reason being alive is not for marriage. Like you aren't
Yeah.
living for
Yeah.
marriage.
Yes.
So then my question is, how do you prepare yourself? Obviously, we want to get married. So how do you prepare yourself for marriage without idolizing marriage?
Beautiful
and
bridge.
making everything about
Married.
That
marriage
is,
in
yeah.
terms of your relationship with God. Now I'm going to God, I'm going to church, I'm
Yeah.
asking God to
Yes.
expose me to myself, to grow for the sake of marriage, but not for the sake of growing.
I think how you can sort of balance that is prioritizing your relationship with God, right?
Yeah.
Because when you pursue God and you pursue a Christ-like character, you're already preparing for marriage. Because in a marriage, you're going to have to be loving, patient, kind, and all
Yeah.
those good things. By the way, I'm not married, but I'm just speaking of what I hear
Yeah.
married people say,
Yes.
the type of qualities you need,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Even serving in your church, that can help you prepare for marriage because you're getting in the mindset of serving, putting
Yeah.
others
Yeah.
above yourself, right? And something else that I hear from married people is like, you need to die to yourself.
Yo.
So like, just pursuing God in itself, He can put you in positions and places where your character can be built to prepare you for
Yeah.
what I think. But obviously, you know, my wisdom is limited on this because I'm not married.
So there's a
but-
simple analogy Chris told me, and it's like if you're playing a sport, what do you do for practice for that sport? Is you play the sport, right?
Right.
So to practice for a soccer game, you don't play rugby.
Yeah.
To practice for swimming, you don't go run.
Right.
So if you're going to practice for marriage, why would you flirt?
Hey, but you're not gonna flirt in your marriage?
Oh.
Not with every girl that comes along with one person.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know,
Right?
yeah.
So why would you keep those WhatsApp conversations alive? Why would you keep those DMs going? Why would you do that if you're not going to do that in marriage?
Even to hop on that, right? Like if you're currently like messaging 9 different girls, if you had to meet, okay, let's say, right, and you had to,
It happens,
okay,
bro.
okay, let's bring it down to
One
4,
time, bro.
4 or 3, okay. If you now met your wife,
Yeah.
are you just gonna stop messaging? You know, if you
Yeah.
get me, it's
You're
like,
gonna switch off
yeah,
overnight.
it's the same thing with like loneliness. Like, are you telling yourself, okay, now when I meet this person, those insecurities, loneliness will just vanish? Because I've heard married couples say it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
Even if it's pornography addiction as well, it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
And that's what my thing is, like what Santana is trying to say is like, what are you currently doing now? If you have this habit of flirting with 4 or 5 girls, is that just magically going to stop?
Or
once
guys.
Or guys, yes, that's true. Will it just magically go away now that you're married? You know, like that's why you got to start practicing and prep with that.
And
now.
even if it does-
self-control.
Even if it does,
Self-control,
doesn't that
bro.
say something about you? If you go, I'm talking to 5 people,
Yes.
and then you start dating and then you just drop off.
Self-control.
But it's like you've been laying down some foundations,
Yes,
some emotional
exactly.
ties with those people.
Exactly.
That doesn't just
That's a
disappear.
great way to put it, you know, because a lot of the times that can also, you know what I mean, like jack or cloud our ability to like, you know,
Yeah.
pick the right partner or, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
those
100%.
habits and stuff like that. So that's definitely a good way to, you know, touch on it. You insist.
I was gonna say, brother, though, that the question you asked though around how do you prepare for marriage but not idolize it, right? That is a really good question, and I think I would love for you to ask a married person,
Maybe next.
you're right, and actually
Yes, that is
find
true.
out like somebody who's in a healthy marriage and like
Yeah.
obviously they were single at some point, and
Yeah.
how did they actually prepare for it adequately? Because there is a preparation. Like I do think it's wise to read books, listen to
that's
true.
sermons,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
talk
I've done
to
so many
people
marriage
around you,
courses.
right? You got to do your research.
For real.
But then you don't want to get consumed in that because there's so
Yeah.
much more to God than
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I would love
yeah.
to hear that conversation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, wait, can I ask this question? Does marriage preparation look different from singleness in the Christian context? Because how are they different? If I have to go and decide, oh, I'm going to just live and if I never get married, so what? Or if I decide I want to get married, how is that prep different?
So what is batting season?
Finally get there.
Santana can start.
Batting season. Batting season is being intentional about living purely, letting God come into your life and your space and do a work in you, and you are living as if you were married. And what I mean by that is like, if a girl had to come up to me and ask for my number, I'd first of all be like, why? Do you want to ask me something about church? Because I work there. And if it's like, no, I just want to get to know you, then I'd be like, no, thank you. Cool, because if I was married, I wouldn't give my number out, so why would I do it there?
But what if
What
she's
if
like,
she is wrong? Like, what if she is?
Then it comes back to the thing of like, I believe I can shut every door and God will still make a way.
wait, so then you
Because-
want God to just break down.
Yeah. I believe he can because I've seen it happen in guys' lives.
Yeah.
And what I saw is before that, when I said yes to every single girl, what I had was a lot of emotional baggage, a lot of girls that I'm trying to talk to and figure out if this is my wife or not. That's not my job to do.
Right.
I don't know myself as well as God knows me. So why would I try and figure out who my wife is? That's just my take on it personally.
Can
But
I
dating
actually
season, I
ask you
think.
something?
Yeah.
How do you go about getting to know people without like leaving breadcrumbs everywhere?
Yeah.
So, I spoke, or did you want to? Okay, cool. I spoke to one of my mentors in the church. His name's Donnie. And he was just telling me that, like, okay, let's say you're interested in a girl, right? He said, like, okay, you don't even have to go for the first thing of, like, let's go for a coffee. He said, create, like, even up to, like, 10 different, like, things where you're going on brides, going on movies, but with your community.
Yeah.
And do it over a course of like maybe 10 different ones. And you'll actually get a clearer picture of that person and see how you guys interact with each other,
Yeah.
if there is chemistry.
Yeah.
And he's like, once you can see that, maybe then now you can take that first step and be like, okay, now let's go for a coffee. Because now she can even be like, oh, we've spent time with each other. I can see it or I don't see it. So that's one way of getting to know somebody as well. I don't know your guys' take. Yeah, also
Just be friends, yeah.
Yeah.
Be friends.
Be friends
You
with
guys
her,
have
right?
female friends?
But yeah,
Yes.
What?
No, I mean, okay, yes, I know you guys have. I mean, I'm not saying here.
Wow.
But like, what is the intensity and the boundaries around your female friendship?
Okay.
Like
well,
practical
but
boundaries.
here's the thing: when you spoke about like breadcrumbs and stuff like that, sometimes that doesn't happen intentionally, you know, because also some guys, you know, get a kick at that, you know, like oh breadcrumbs. But like sometimes it just doesn't happen intentionally. Like you could literally be, you know, of good intentions, and then I don't know. Let's say you're helping someone or helping a girl do something, and then you know
Yeah,
she.
oh my God, he loves me.
Do you know what I mean? Like as simple as that, and then
Yeah.
the moment like a day could go by where you're not in a similar scenario or whatnot, or you just walk past and it's like, but he's not giving me the same, and then
Energy.
but in you it's like I was just being like kind,
Helpful.
and then it was taken.
But you know
Now-
what I
now-
think
now
causes
got
that?
the-
I think that's caused by like you get people who are like Santana that like just shut you down and what? Do you know what I mean? But then you're extra friendly. So the
Extra
thing is, yes, or extra friendly. Like
I'm extra.
friendly with
And
the
extra.
spice on top.
And the breadcrumb.
And the breadcrumbs. You the
it's
whole
bad.
loaf of bread.
It's bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's bad.
You even
So-
butter your bread, bro.
Oh, no.
He has the job. He has everything. Nice and sweet. It's nice and sweet.
Actually, sorry, I paused. I shouldn't have said that. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, that was
That was
really
dope.
bad.
That was really
That
dope.
was very bad.
You're gonna edit that out, yeah.
What did he say?
He didn't say anything.
Okay, alright.
Yeah, I didn't say. What
Yeah,
do you
Moving
do?
on. What are you talking about? Right, so now you have people who are like that, and your experience, especially in the church, as church girls,
Yeah.
like a lot of the times the guys are like, "Don't do to me, and then they're like moving. So if one guy stops to actually see you and say, "How are you? How's your day?" You are asking for marriage.
Okay.
You literally-
I think that there is a place for friendliness, definitely. Like, I don't want to sound like if a girl tries to speak to me at church, I just like,
And then you put
just
out
like,
a
run.
gun.
No.
Put out a gun.
no, okay, sometimes. No, I'm kidding. No. So I think there's like wise, practical things you can put in place because of the world we live in. Like, if I'm WhatsApping a girl after 8 p.m., what am I doing? And what am I
You
looking
speak
for?
on it.
Like, come on, let's just
Drink
think
the
about that.
demonic
Why am I
hours.
WhatsApping her
After
after
eight.
8?
The demonic
Even
hours.
worse,
And they
why
are.
am I
No,
WhatsApping her
no,
after
no,
midnight?
no.
Like,
They really are.
there's no need for
Night.
that.
Yo,
In fact,
yeah.
why do I need to speak to them on WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Like, unless there's a purpose to our conversation, we're chatting about something that needs to be spoken about, maybe working together on a project or something,
Yeah.
maybe we need to meet up to plan, like, then I get it. You know, checking up on people, making sure they're okay. I do message my female friends to make sure they're alright sometimes.
Yes.
But it's just, I'm not in constant conversation.
Right.
Like, oh, speak to you when we wake up, speak to you when we go to bed, speak to you throughout the day.
Yeah.
Because I know,
What
one,
that leads to.
what that's going to do in my heart,
Yes.
and two, what that can be read as.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I'd rather be looked at as someone who's a little bit unfriendly than the guy who broke your heart.
Yeah.
Barbara, I mean, I think it's also two ways, right? So there's physical boundaries that we all know,
Yes,
right?
yes,
like
yes,
we're just friends, right?
Yeah.
But then there's emotional boundaries that we forget about. And I think
that's the
when
big
you're
one.
friends with a girl, you need to be
Understand,
careful
be
about
careful.
the types of conversations you're having.
Yeah.
And you also need to be careful about how, like, what you say to her. So, for example, like, if let's say she's looking nice on the day, right?
Oh,
She's
yeah,
dressed
yeah,
nice or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like, there's a difference between you saying, "Wow, like, oh, you look nice today, right?"
Yeah, like cool
Versus
outfit.
like, "Man, you look beautiful."
The keyword.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just that in itself, just that in itself, I think
Coming to
you're
your
not
house.
helping.
Yeah.
You're not helping
Yeah.
Yes, the
in
situation,
having like a healthy
I
friendship
need you
with
to
them.
speak louder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I need you to make noise.
And the cool thing is, like, as guys, a lot of the time we'll hype each other up. So if I see Kuda looking nice, I'll be like, yeah, and I'll make a noise
But I
and
mean,
then get
yeah,
funny
yeah,
with
with
it.
the
Because
boys,
he's my bro, and I know that
Yeah.
there's nothing funny in
Yes,
taking
yes.
it.
Yeah.
But doesn't matter how
That's not
cool
gonna
one of my
take it
female
as
friends are
action.
looking, I'll never go that crazy because
Yeah.
then people be like,
The
"Ah,
wrong message.
What's
sir,
going on?
where's the
Yeah.
ring?
Right.
What's happening?"
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Or if-
just don't do that.
Or if you go to that extent, let's say maybe yo, I dig your new Vans. Those are really cool, bro.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that.
Drop a bro,
Yeah.
drop a
Drop a
bro,
bro.
drop a pal, drop a
Bro, it's like
sister in
a
Christ. Oh, my sister in Christ, those jeans, really cool.
good sense.
I'd actually say,
Make it clear.
But
I would
I would even say, like, I think it's the whole concept of boundaries.
Yeah.
So important in everything. Because, the biggest one that, like, I was blindsided by is the emotional one. Because
Yeah.
it's so easy just to go deep into the night talking or phone calls and all of these things. And it's, I'll tell myself, right? I'll be like, no, I'll be fine. I'll manage this. Before you know it, you have this deep emotional attachment. Or she forms a deep emotional attachment. And then you realize later on, maybe I'm actually not that interested, or maybe this isn't working out. But then what do you do with that emotional attachment?
Yeah.
And then when pursuing someone, now you bring in this baggage.
I actually wanted to just interject there.
Go for
Sorry, can I
it,
just-
go for it, yeah.
So within that area where there's like
Yeah.
there's no communication, like when you say what do you do with that, it gets a bit awkward because now it's like, do you sit down and be like, hey, actually we're not, because that situation is like sticky, bro. You know, like and it could be like, oh no, I wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, so it's very, very
Don't you guys think we're old enough to, like,
have those.
ask?
100%.
Yeah, we are,
Sure.
100%. Like
Clear
ask what?
communication.
Ask like,
And us, like, and like, but on sejusa.
Like, what's going on?
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You could probably, yeah.
I don't know, I think so, because I've had many conversations where I've sat down and not even assumed, just been like, I don't know what your feelings are, but because I know what mine could become, I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
And
you're
that's
still my
okay,
homie.
bro. And that's okay. That's 100%.
We're old
okay.
enough that we can do that now.
But the thing is, what you're saying is you've communicated this
Yeah.
to someone,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
directly.
Yeah.
Which I think, if you're able to, as a guy, do that, it's very, it could definitely help a whole lot of situations, man.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
I guess in some scenarios it may not be taken too grand, because obviously, females talk about emotions and all those kind of
Yeah.
things.
Be careful.
What?
But still, would you rather be the guy that offends her for her own good, or the guy who leads her on for like way bigger demands?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's much better if you sit
If you
her
just,
down
exactly.
and then
Exactly.
deal with it in the beginning. Before now I'm
And
really
always ask
planning
questions
when
first.
No.
Oh my
Wait,
word.
you're gonna get married.
Yeah.
I'm booking inimitable when you're
Booking
telling me.
Airbnb.
But
Yo.
always ask questions
Next
first
time.
in those conversations. Like, never, oh my gosh, I've done this before. Never assume, like, hey, I know you're absolutely just crazy about me. And the girl's like, why?
Hey.
I would actually.
We're best friends.
Don't do that.
I would
That's
shoot
Oh,
you.
Yo,
it's
do not
so
do that.
bad. Don't do that
That is
ever.
bad. Don't do that, chance.
And we need to be careful.
I
in
did
the
it
church.
once. I learned from
I just want to say we need to be careful in the
Man
church
of God
because
speaking.
yo,
Joking, I'm joking.
No, yo, hey,
Bruh, this
speak.
man. No, but like we really need to be careful in the church because of Christ, right? And Christ in us, and what he's calling us to do is to love people and to
Yes.
be kind.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the time, sometimes we can interpret somebody just being kind as, oh, okay, what's she saying?
Yes.
You know, what is she doing?
Go there.
Why
Vice
is that
versa.
with women?
Go there.
No, I'm saying as in a guy,
Oh.
you could be a girl could just be nice to you,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you thinking she's all for you.
Yes.
She's just being nice, right? Imagine on your side, yo.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Wait,
And vice versa. Vice versa, right? So as a girl,
Yeah.
the guy is just being nice to you, but you thinking all sorts of things.
I got to a place where I realized that I don't know how to handle relationships well, despite good intentions, despite reading stuff online, despite like trying to do it well. And I got to the place where I realized I want to be a great husband one day. I'd love to be a great father. I'd love to have a family and do that right. And for that reason, for the cycles of my family and like divorce and things that have been very real in the past generations that I want to break, that's why I'm doing Banning Season. So I can do this right. And even if I never get married, I never want to be a guy that people can, what's the word, like use to criticize God. I want my actions to portray the God that I serve well. So that's for me, like some of the reason that I do Banning Season is because I'm actually just trying to love and respect all the women out there, love and respect the God that I serve, you know? So that's for me. Coots, why do you do Banning Season?
I think, wait, before we even go into that, I think we need to just like understand Banning Season, because you said something important that it's so much bigger than that.
Yeah.
And one of the things we're speaking on even before on camera is that it's living a life of purity.
Yeah.
Right? And not just going around flirting with girls, not just going around, you know, and just trying your luck everywhere, you know, everywhere in the church, you know,
Having
so
1,000 coffees.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, if a girl came to me and she was interested, right, I wouldn't bat her right then and there, right? I would maybe, well, hear me out. No, but that's the thing. That's why Santana was getting to the fact that it's bigger. It's not just what it sounds like, right?
It's just a fun term.
It's a fun term that we're using, but it's actually living a life of purity. So if a girl came up to me and, you know, she was interested, right? Then I'll just say, okay, cool, let's just be friends. Like, let's just get to know one another, right? Like, that's okay. But I'm still not going to be talking to you on WhatsApp every day.
Yeah.
And I'm still not going to be, you know, acting like we're dating. There's going to be boundaries to it. And I want to let you know that we're friends first and foremost.
Dude, nice.
Right? And then see if it develops into something. So why I do it, I think you got to guard your heart. Because there's been so many times where I think I've let my heart loose. And, you know, I've been talking to girls and, you know, getting too emotionally deep. And I end up, you guys are too much. You guys are too much. You guys are
He touched on some very powerful.
But you know, like I found myself in situations where like emotionally I have to like get out of that place, and it's so hard.
It's very
like your emotions, man, are so strong. So I
hard.
think that's why I'm a bit more careful about how and it's also respectful to women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
That's the whole
don't
reason behind it.
don't be interacting with them in a way that is giving them ideas, but you're not going to commit to that idea.
Talk about it.
So you basically,
Oh my God.
you basically answered that question that the girl had
About breadcrumbing.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah.
Okay, this is probably going to expose me, but if you girls have watched the movie Persuasion on Netflix, we're not going to be a Frederick Wentworth, okay? We're not going to be all up in there, leading on Louisa. That's not what we're doing here. We're trying to do the opposite of that. I hope somebody gets that reference. I feel like I just threw away my man card. Anyways, Cameron, why do you do Banning Season?
Yo, man, I think I've grown up in a family where there's been a lot of broken marriages. And I've seen, and one of